Wow, it is windy today. Winds are over 35 miles an hour, gusting tops of 40 miles an hour. March the 19th, one day from spring, and about 66 degrees right now. This hive, the round hive, did not make it through winter, sorry to say. So what we're gonna do, stay with me, we're gonna take this back to the shop, and we're gonna do a forensic study, kind of do an autopsy, and see what happened to it. Let's get started. Man, I went biking yesterday into a 30-mile-an-hour wind for 30 miles. It was so hard. Wow. And I just found out we're under another tornado watch. Surprise. It's a little heavy. Some of you that have been on my channel for a few years know all about the round hive. And it's a hive that I bought just for fun. I bought it off Amazon. I don't usually run oddly shaped hives. I usually run traditional hives like a Langstroth or a Layens hive, a flow hive, but this was really off the chart. I put it together, I think about 3 years ago, and just for experimental purposes, and I found it to be very difficult to work, to treat for mites and check for beetles and all that, the way that these frames are. You'll see in just a minute, we're gonna open it up. So I was really surprised that they lasted this long. I think they were trying to get through, I can't remember the years, but they were either trying to get through their 3rd year or their 4th year. And that's pretty typical of the hives that you don't do anything to. If you fail to treat hives, a lot of people think the 1st year I made it, I didn't treat, they made it. And you can even get maybe through your 2nd year sometimes without treating for mites. And I don't mean just with chemicals, I mean some type of approach where you're controlling your mites. And then the 3rd year, the thing crashes. So this is par for the course. But I really am looking forward to opening this up because a lot of you have been asking me, David, why don't you open up a hive that died and walk us through? Maybe we can determine something. So we'll take a look. Let's get into it right now. All right, so this is going to be interesting. That is tight. Wow. Wow, that's tight. All right. So I suspect there'll be a lot of dead bees in here. And I suspect we'll see probably, if we look hard, we'll be able to see some mites that died as well. Ooh, this thing is propolized together pretty good. Let's see if we can twist it open. All right. And if you remember, I did make a few videos where we got in there, and it has round frames that I had to build when I bought it and put it together. Maybe I'll throw some clips in here of me putting it together. All right, some of the frames are trying to come up with the lid, which was common every time I inspected it. These little frames would try to come up. All right, there we go, good. Wow, there it is. All right. All right, let's get this strap to hold the lid. There we go. Interesting. So some of the comb was built up on top here, and you can see they've propolized the lid, and there are a lot of dead bees, and there's even a mouse in there right now walking around right here. Hello, mouse. This hive comes complete with a mouse. And so I'd like to catch that mouse so it doesn't get in my building here. Yeah, so once the hive actually dies like this, And that's when the mice take over. I don't know if you can see that mouse down in there. But, yeah. And you can see, yeah, there's a mouse right there. Oh, yep, a couple of mice down there. Hopefully they'll stay there until I can pick them up and take them outside. Okay, so I did take it outdoors to get rid of the mice. And I am wearing a N95 mask because there's always a risk of yuckies. I don't want to breathe a whole bunch of yucky stuff in. So there you go. So got the mice out of there, maybe got most of the mice out. So let me show you some things that I think you'll be interested in. Now, what has happened here is after the bees died, the mice ate most of the bees. See what a frame looks like here, full of honey. I got a little honey in it, and the string that I used to tie the frame up has kind of been propolised down to the bottom of the box. There we go. Look at that. Yep, frame of honey. I would not eat that. And that's what it looks like. That's why I don't spend a lot of time making videos of dead hives. It's just not much to look at, especially one that's full of mice. A little mildewy, died probably early in the winter. And the frames of honey there, you see. All right, here's a frame that, comb that was built without a frame. Again, when I bought this, I had to build all these circular frames, and they were hard to build, and they didn't stay in place. They broke. It was just kind of tough. And it's kind of small. They do make frames like this that are hives like this that are bigger, the big round ones, and I think that'd be easier to manage than small ones. I do have 8mm nitrile gloves on. Yeah, another frame of honey here. And another one here. You guys wanted me to make this video. I don't like doing this. It's gross, isn't it? Ugh. Oh, there's a small hive beetle down in there. A dead small hive beetle. But, you know, it's really hard to see. Like if you try to look for dead mites, it's hard to see mites in a pile of dead bees from the mice. It sure does not smell good at all. It's a combination of dead bees and mouse pee. And it doesn't smell good. It's not a bad comb there. A little bit of honey on it. You might be asking, well, what are you going to do with this now? David, are you going to put more bees in this? Absolutely not. I've had enough of working a hive like this. It was just an experiment to see how it would do. And it did okay for a while, but as you can see, difficult to treat because of, you know, look at that, you know, it's just hard to keep everything straight. And if you are first starting out beekeeping, you've got to start with a hive that is easy to maintain, like a Langstroth. It's terrible to start, I think, with hives that are like this. This would be a tough hive to start with a new beginner because it's just hard to work. It's not typical. You can't get your experience in working a hive like this. Yeah. Okay, well there goes the lid. Wow, it's hard to get apart. Let me put my camera down. Yeah, we've had crazy weather. We had bad storms move in the area, 3 or 4 days ago when we had all those tornadoes. You know, they went through out west, they went through Missouri, people were killed. It's just tragic how bad these storms are in the spring, big thunderstorms with tornadoes. And that night, we stayed up until they passed over. And so we didn't, you can't go to sleep when somebody is saying you're under a tornado warning. We had a tornado kind of go close to us, so we had to stay on red alert till about 2 a.m. I was tired the next day. But it's another chance of tornadoes today. And we're a day from spring. Wow, look at that. Yeah. First day of spring, there's always a chance of bad weather. You're changing temperatures. That's what makes it really tough. Yep, that's where they stored a lot of their honey. Look at that. Yeah. I may put some of these frames of honey out in the field away from my hives where my bees can clean those frames up. Otherwise, I will keep this hive box. I'll get rid of these filthy mouse-ridden comb. To get rid of those, and I'll save this box because it made a good few years of good videos. But yeah, look at that. The mice, this entrance here is pretty small, and obviously big enough for mice to get in. Look at that. I should have put something in front of that. Probably, if you notice this setting right here, hindsight is 2020. I could have set it to this setting here, I think. That might have interfered with my drones. I'm not sure. That looks like it would. I don't know if a drone could get through that, or queens, if they lost their queen, virgin queen could get out, and then maybe, I don't know. But I needed to put some kind of a mouse protection for sure. Wow, that had to be one of the most grossest hives that I've ever taken apart. I do have one more that I want to show you. It's my Langstroth, horizontal long Langstroth. It did not make it through the winter. So we'll take that one apart. I know that doesn't have any mice in it, and that'd be much more fun to kind of get an analysis of what happened. One of the things that a lot of beekeepers will be wrestling with this spring, because of the rains that we've had and so forth, is the threat of European foul brood. Have you ever had EFB? European foul brood is a tough one. Oh my gosh, you get it in the spring. You need to be on red alert for European foul brood. Some beekeepers have already reported that they have European foul brood. So it is not fun to get. It's contagious from beehive to beehive. Now, a lot of beekeepers have always dealt with European foul brood, usually by a queen break, maybe requeening, feeding. Spring dries up, hoping that it clear up by itself. But it is a risky thing to try to play with. And there is an antibiotic today. It's called oxytetracycline that will clear it up. It's basically 3 treatments about 4 or 5 days apart. And then you have to wait, I think, 6 weeks before you can put honey supers on after your last treatment. But you have to have a vet. A veterinarian has to come out, take a look at it, verify you have it. Or maybe some vets I've heard you can call on the phone. But you have to have a vet give you permission to use the antibiotic. So be on the lookout. I've made a video. You're probably wondering, oh my gosh, what does it look like? I don't know if I have European foul brood. I made a video to help you understand European foul brood, if you have it or not, what to do. Check this video right here. I'll see you guys over there.